And I want to bring in my panel, Michael Tobman, Adriana Cohen, and Steve Rogers. Steve, again, you've worked with the FBI. You understand how this works. Two separate sources on a variety of things, but it just underscores that there's been a serious look into the Clinton Foundation and this Clinton email scandal, and maybe it could go as far as to revoking the immunity deals of Cheryl Mills and Heather Samuelson.
A couple of important points, Charles. If Donald Trump didn't push this issue as relentless as he did, he talked about corruption in government, he talked about corruption with the FBI and law enforcement in the Justice Department, and now it's all coming to fruition. And let me share this with you as a law enforcement officer, a good part of my life. There's no question in my mind that the FBI found something very damaging, and that's what they're going to be going after.
Should they be leaking it then? I mean, as a professional investigator in the past, do you like the idea that you have different sources leaking this, or should it run its course?
Well, it should run its course, but when it comes to leaks, I really believe there are agents in that bureau who are very concerned about the future of this country, and some of them did leak it for that purpose and that purpose only.
Adriana, I mean, you've been covering this extensively for your paper, and again, they're looking at 302 interviews here. They're looking at pay-to-play between the secretary and the foundation. The Clinton Foundation, they say, has been a very high priority for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is so damning for the Clinton campaign. I mean, we're about to go to an election, presidential election, where you have the top Democrat candidate under investigation for possible corruption charges. She could clearly be, if she wins, she could even be indicted. And then we could face an impeachment. Is this what America wants? I don't think she should even be allowed to run. I agree with Donald Trump. Anyone under FBI investigation should not be allowed to run. Then we could have avoided this entire mess. And I have to say, President Obama is also partially responsible for the mess that we're in, because when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, he never implemented an inspector general. And that would have been the watchdog. And that watchdog would have said, no, you can't use these private servers. That watchdog would have noticed that she was using this private service, and he would have shut that down. And also, President Obama was emailing with her with this private email. He didn't do his job. He should have said, hey, wait a minute, Hillary, you're violating the rules. You better stop that right now. So he's partially culpable for the mess that we're in. And I think it's really damning. There's no question that the
Real
Clinton
quick, Michael, let me just ask Michael real quick,
mess.
and what's your reaction? How do you think the Clinton campaign reacts to this?
I think that they're going to have a hard time criticizing this, because process matters, and our federal government is more than our presidential campaign and our presidential candidates or the president. A lot of credit is due to the FBI, because could you imagine Hillary wins and it turns out that the FBI was sitting on thousands upon thousands of documents relevant to this? There would be blood in the hallways of the Capitol. The FBI is doing the right thing.
All right, good. Let's leave it there. Hey, the major averages in